So, preparing it. Let's see. See, that's so weird. I had to exit out and come back in for it to do it.
Wait.
Oh, it's loading. No. Oh my gosh. That's freaking wild.
Mm.
That's so crazy. You can't see you though.
Oh no.
Talk some more. Oh, you do pop up. You pop up. When you talk, you pop up.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Okay. Hey, go. Oh, okay. So this is the Brainstorm Besties. And I'm here and I'm writing a psychological thriller. Oh my gosh, I can't focus. Give me a second. Oh, I'm trying to figure out the audio. I wonder if like people can hear me now. I don't know. I mute. Oh, yeah, don't mute myself. Sorry guys, if the audio is like super weird. I'm trying to figure out how to. Okay, so you can. Okay. I just don't hear myself. That's fine. Anyways, this is the Halloween spooky edition. I'm not in costume because I've been in costume all day from really early in the morning to about 45 minutes ago, and I really just don't want to. We're talking about serial killers, um, Wendigos, Appalachian Forest, like everything in that realm and more. So, at least do you want to start or do you want me to start? I can start with John Wayne
Sorry.
Gacy. We can get into it.
Yeah, sure. Content warning.
But yeah, content warning because it's for some reason not letting me do um I don't know how to change. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Edit video. Let's see what happens. Oh, I don't know. Am I still live? That's a very good question.
I think you are.
No, it's not me. Age restriction.
My light just died. That's so sad.
No, that's so sad.
And then
Okay,
now it's working here.
where am I? Can I go back to where I was? Oh no! Are we still live?
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking at you on my computer, and you're looking live to me, sis.
Okay. Okay. So now we are 18 and up. Okay. Figured it out, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay. So if you guys don't know, John Wayne Gacy, oh my gosh. He is what inspired it. Well, killer clowns, but at least that's what Stephen King said. That's a true fact. Early life and first crimes is kind of where I'm at the moment. At least that's what I have coming up for me. So Gacy was born into a blue collar family, the only son of Marion. That's so. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher names. Anyway, Gacy and John Stanley Gacy. The family also included two sisters. He was named after the movie star John Wayne. Gacy's father was an alcoholic and he was reportedly abusive to his son. John Wayne Gacy dropped out of high school and briefly lived in Las Vegas. He worked at a mortuary for several months before returning to Illinois. Shortly thereafter, he enrolled in the Northwestern Business College and graduated in 1963. In 1964, he married Marilyn Myers. The couple moved to Waterloo, Iowa, where Gacy managed several Kentucky Fried Chicken franchises owned by his father in law. Gacy and his wife later had a son and daughter. Gacy was active in the community and was a prominent member of the JCs. However, he also began exhibiting and growing tendencies towards sadism, which resulted in several encounters with the law. In 1968, he pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a teenage boy and was confined in the Iowa State Men's Reformatory. It was the Anamosa State Penitentiary. Other boys made similar allegations, though no additional charges were filed. Gacy's wife filed for divorce and it was finalized in 1969. Gacy had no substantial contact with her or his children. There's a picture of him as a clown. Freaking creepy. He was known as as Pogo the Clown. He dressed up this is like him dressed up as a clown outside his home in Norwood Park Township, Illinois, December 1976. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Gacy was paroled in 1970 and he moved back to Chicago. In 71, he was arrested again for sexual assault on two separate occasions, but the charges were dropped in both cases. During this time, Gacy, with help from his mother, purchased a home in Norwood Park Township outside of Chicago. He was extremely well liked in the community and he hosted annual summer parties that were hugely popular. He later appeared as a clown, Pogo the Clown, or Patches the Clown, at various events. In 72, Gacy married Carol Hoff, a former high school classmate. 2 years later, Gacy founded PDM, a contracting business that became successful. Many of Gacy's employees were teenage boys. Carol began to question his involvement with young men, especially after she found pornographic magazines featuring boys and men. In addition, she grew suspicious of his frequent nights out. In 76, the couple divorced. Dude, like, how did he get away with having a literal business that was surrounded by little like young men when he had those past charges against him? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just freaking wild that he somehow got away with it and was so intricated into the community.
In like a weird, messed up way. It's like, I don't want to call it luck, but I've heard others describe it as he was lucky in this stuff. I also heard that he was charming and a great talker.
Yes,
So I'm sure he could
very true.
probably easily, you know, I think this is a misunderstanding, you guys.
Murders and arrests. So Gacy committed his first known murder in 72. He met 16-year-old Timothy McCoy at the Greyhound bus station in Chicago. The teenager had a layover on his way home to Nebraska, and he agreed to go to Gacy's house. There, Gacy fatally stabbed him. Over the next 6 years, Gacy murdered 32 other young men. His crimes typically followed a pattern. He would lure victims to his house, sometimes offering a job at his company, and then give them alcohol or drugs. At some point, he would mention a magic trick, which would involve the young man putting on handcuffs. Gacy would then rape and murder them, usually by strangulation or asphyxiation. The way they found these boys, though, like in the crawl space, the one that was in the under the cement floor in the garage too.
And
Um,
yeah, no, oh my gosh.
in
Ugh.
70, Gacy killed his final victim, 15-year-old Robert Peace. Pice. I think it's Pice. After his parents reported him missing, police learned that Gacy was the last person known to have seen him. Pice had gone to his house to talk about a construction job. After obtaining a search warrant, police searched the house and found suspicious items, including syringes, various drugs, and licenses belonging to other people. Gacy was placed under surveillance as detectives conducted an investigation, which included talking to young men who had previously accused Gacy of assault. In addition, several men mentioned digging trenches and spreading lime in the crawl space under the house. He didn't do that. He had others do that for him.
Hmm. No, I hate this guy. I hate this guy. I mean, I hate all of them, but like, are you kidding? Disgusting.
Police obtained a second warrant and they discovered the bodies of 29 boys and young men in the crawl space or near Gacy's house. Four other bodies, including Pice, were later found in the nearby Des Plaines River. The area of the house had emitted a foul stench for years, but Gacy had told his house guests and his wife that the smell was the result of moisture buildup. How he got
Moisture
away
buildup?
how he got away with that is absolutely fucking mind blowing.
Does it moisture buildup? I don't
Does not smell like rotting corpses.
know,
No fucking
sir.
way. Soon after being arrested, Gacy admitted to the murders. He later pleaded innocent by reason of insanity, and his trial began in 1980. The defense called several psychologists who had diagnosed him as schizophrenic. However, the jury found him guilty of all 33 murders, and he received the death penalty. While in prison, Gacy claimed to have committed other murders, though those were never confirmed. After all his appeals were denied, Gacy was executed by lethal injection in 44. While on death row, Gacy became a prolific painter, and many of his works were of clowns. His paintings later became popular at auctions and were among highly sought after murderabilia items connected to killers. That's that's Wayne Gacy. Like that's just so fucked up,
How does he, like, how do you get away with it for that long?
right? That's what I'm saying.
Twice.
Right? Thank you.
I'm sorry. I was like, twice.
Okay. You want to
I
hear
won't
my
lie
fourth?
to you.
I'm
I
frozen.
lost my
Oh,
note.
am I still what? I'm glitching, guys. This is bad.
Yeah, you're glitching a little bit.
Are you gonna?
Do you want to do another one? I lost
Huh?
it. I lost um,
Oh,
my note.
I'm glitchy as all get out. Not gonna lie. My freaking thing. I hope that I'm not gonna keep glitching, but I think I am. You see this? Like the glitch is pissing me off.
Dang.
All right. So I'll switch the flip the switch. There we go. I'm gonna flip the switch, guys. Gosh, you know what? I would have edited that out if this was a actual video. So the Wendigo, we're gonna get into mythology, also known as the Achin, the Chinu, the Kwak. There's a lot of things that I don't know how to pronounce. I probably pronounced the other ones wrong. Allegonian mythology, a Wendigo is a cannibalistic monster central to the spiritual beliefs of North America Algonquin speaking tribes. It is tied to winter and depicted either as a terrifying creature that haunts and devours humans or as a spirit that can possess people, turning them into cannibals. The term Wendigo has various spellings and pronunciation. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's spelled Oijibwe, but in that it means a winter cannibal monster, possibly originating in the Proto Alleghenian word Wintikawa, meaning owl. I really am so sorry if my pronunciations are bad. Okay, guys, I do apologize. The Wendigo legend originates in the oral histories of North American tribes, uh, predating the arrival of Europeans. Some anthropologists suggest that the legend developed as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the importance of community to guard against individual greed, selfishness, and isolation. The Wendigo was a personification of cold and hunger in a time when human survival relied on banding together and sharing resources, particularly during the long, harsh winters of the northern wilderness. The legend may also have served as a warning to children to not wander too far into the woods. Some characteristics of the Wendigo. The Wendigo is a figure, obviously, of the North American
Indigenous.
thank you,
You're welcome.
indigenous folklore, particularly in the oral traditions of tribes. It is often described as an emaciated figure with ashen skin, or as a giant creature, sometimes as tall as 15 feet. Other characteristics may include glowing eyes, sharp fangs, and the scent of rotting flesh. Oh, we are on theme today. Some wendigos are hairless, while others have fur, pointed ears, and antlers.
Okay, I'm sorry. I must say, good joke, bad timing.
Wendigos are believed to have heightened senses and great strength and speed, allowing them to effectively hunt their victims. They typically inhabit the woodlands and lakes of Canada and the northern United States, moving easily through snow and ice. The Wendigo embodies the danger of isolation, greed, and selfishness, cautioning against these traits to ensure community survival, especially during harsh winters. Some believe the Wendigo is an evil spirit that can possess humans, leading to cannibalism, violence, and derangement. The first known written mention of the Wendigo appears in a 1636 report by Paul Lejeune, a French Jesuit missionary living among the Algonquin people in what is now Quebec. Lejeune described a woman who warns of an action that had eaten some tribal members nearby and that would eat a great many more of them if he were not called elsewhere. A few instances of murder and cannibalism in North America were blamed on a Wendigo. These included a case in Alberta, Canada, 1879, where a Cree hunter and trapper named Swift Runner claimed a Wendigo spirit had entered his dream and told him to eat his family. He was tried for murder, found guilty, and hanged for his crimes later that year. Another case occurred in 1907 among the Sandy Lake First National First Nation community in northern Ontario. The tribal shaman, Jack Fiddler, and his brother Joseph Fiddler were charged with the murder of Joseph's daughter-in-law, whom they had strangled to prevent her from becoming possessed by a Wendigo. After the brothers' arrest, Jack Fiddler escaped the police and strangled himself, and Joseph Fiddler died from tuberculosis in prison in 1909. By the early 20th century, the term Wendigo psychosis was being used by psychologists and missionaries to describe a culture-bound syndrome among Native and First Nations people whose symptoms included delusions of being possessed by an evil spirit, depression, violence, a compulsion for human flesh, and in some cases cannibalism. The syndrome was also diagnosed retroactively in historical cases of cannibalism in North America. However, the existence of the syndrome is disputed by some scientists. For centuries, indigenous artists and activists have drawn on the Wendigo legend both literally and metaphorically to address such issues as colonialism, violence, and environmental destruction. American writer Louise Erdrich's poem Wendigo, that's where I got Wendigo because that's from the poem, in 1984 tells of a man trapped inside a Wendigo who abducts a young girl who in turn releases his spirit. Her novel The Roundhouse 2012, which centers on an this is the thing I can't say. OJIBWE boy in North Dakota seeking justice after his mother is raped, using the Wendigo legend to explore views of retribution and justice among the boy's tribe versus those of the U.S. government. In the 21st century, activist Winona LaDuke coined the term Wendigo economics to criticize corporations' cannibalistic effect on Earth. That's crazy that it's all the way to the 20th century.
Yeah.
Since the 19th century, the Wendigo legend has also captured the imagination of the non indigenous authors. In The Wilderness Hunter, 1893, the future U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt includes a goblin story about a bear like beast that stalks the camp of two hunters, leaving only one to survive and tell the tale. Readers have interpreted Roosevelt's beast as being either the legendary Bigfoot or a Wendigo. British writer Algernon Blackwood's novel The Wendigo in 1910 tells a similar story of a mysterious monster hunting a campsite in the Canadian wilderness. An American novelist, Stephen King, features a Wendigo in a horror story Pet Cemetery, 1983. Canadian writer Margaret Atwood um, examines the Wendigo legend in Strange Things, the Malavant North in Canadian Literature in 1995, a book of lectures on the imaginative landscape of Canadian literature. Wendigos have also found their way into the plots of television shows such as Hannibal, video games such as Until Dawn, and comic books including The Incredible Hulk and Wolverine. A Wendigo character also appears in the action film The Lone Ranger in 2013, despite the plot's southwestern U.S. setting. In director Scott Cooper and producer Guillermo del Toro's Antlers 2021, the Wendigo is a deer-like creature in a story that combines supernatural horror and generational trauma in a small town setting. So, stuff about the Wendigo.
Okay, I guess it could be my turn. Um, are you gonna do the moon-eyed people? Okay, so this it's pretty short. It's really short and sweet. I don't know if a lot of people have heard about this one before, so that's kind of why I'm doing it. That's why I don't have very many, also not following my so here we go. I'm gonna start with like the historical like interpretations, I guess you could say, of it is um early European settlers um So they think it was like early European settlers, and they have various explanations. Um, Descendants of Welsh explorers and or other forgotten indigenous groups. What they look like. If you see a picture on the line, their heads are kind of like, I don't mean to be offensive, but online they make it to seem like their heads are like alien shaped. Like I don't like I have a picture, but my screen might be hecka bright. It is. A demonstration, everybody. But you didn't think you were getting that today. Okay. So well, they kind of look like that. That's what they like make them look out to be. And so now I'll tell you their like description. They are small in stature. They have fair skin and their hair is blonde or reflective with very blue or pale eyes. And I think the reason they have that very blue, like pale eye is they were cave dwellers. Um, they didn't come out a lot. So that's one of the reasons they assume they have very um, blue, very light eyes, and very fair skin. Um, it seems like they do come out in the night from what I'm reading. Um, and then there's really not much to these guys. I'm sorry, everybody. The legend has led to speculation about their identity and some other theories suggesting they were creatures of the ancient stone structure found in the area. However, archaeologist evidence indicates, I know this word, and it has Mississippian civilization built these structures, and many historians consider the Moon Eyed people to be mythical.
Wow.
And then the other one for me is a mimic. Does anybody know what a mimic is? Okay. So I think they I think they are things you can see, and they're people you know, people that you've talked to, but it's not like the actual person. So like let's say I'm at home and my partner's at school and I know he's at school, but I hear a knock on the door and he's like, "Honey, can you let me in?" He's not
I know
here.
what you're
He's
talking
at
about.
school. Like, and so that's creepy. That's really creepy to me. So that's kind of what a mimic is. They kind of like mimic the people you love. They can talk to you. It's really creepy. There's some crazy stories on Reddit. I highly like advise you all to listen to if you're trying to get creeped out. So basically, I hear you're never supposed to follow them into a room because you can see them. And if you hear them, you're never supposed to let them in. They also look a little off. Like they look like your loved one, but they don't quite look like your loved one. So watch out for those. And then my next like piece of advice is that if you're trying to get into that stuff, be careful because you never know what you're asking for.
Yeah. No way.
Mm, I decided not to do any serial kill. I thought I could just keep it supernatural today, not bring it too real. Do you have any
Sorry.
more? I know you had a lot.
I had a lot, and a lot of it obviously we lost. I lost a lot. I was trying to get like trying to find the places I found stuff on the Mothman with the Appalachian Forest, like tying it in. But I'm not really. I'm seeing stuff about the Mothman, but not like. Oh no, there we go. In American folklore, Mothman is the name given to a humanoid creature that was reportedly seen around Point Pleasant, West Virginia from November 15th, 1966 to December 15th, 1967. Despite its name, the original sighting of the creature describes alien features. The first newspaper report was published in the Point Pleasant Register dated November 16th, 1966, titled Couple See Man-Sized Bird Creature Something. The national press soon picked up the reports and helped spread the story across the United States. The source of the legend is believed to have originated from sightings of out of migration sandhill cranes or herons. The creature was introduced to a wider audience by Gray Barker in 1970 and was later popularized by John Keel in his 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies, claiming that there were paranormal events related to the sighting and a connection to the collapse of the Silver Bridge. The book was later adapted into a 2002 film starring Richard Gere. An annual festival in Point Pleasant is devoted to the Mothman legend. They actually have a festival. On November 15th, 1966, two young couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, told police they had seen a large black creature whose eyes glowed red, standing at the side of the road near the TNT area, the site of a former World War II munitions plant. Linda Scarberry describes it as a slender, muscular man about 7 feet tall with white wings. However, she was unable to discern its face due to the hypnotic effect of his eyes. Distressed, the witnesses sped away, reporting that the creature flew after their car, making a screeching sound. It pursued them as far as Point Pleasant city limits. That's fucking wild.
For a long time.
Uh-huh. Over the next few days, more people reported similar sightings after a local newspaper covered it. Two volunteer firemen who saw it said it was a large bird with red eyes. Mason County Sheriff George Johnson believed the sightings were due to an unusually large heron who termed a shite who termed a shite poke. Hold on, somebody messaged me. Casey's mom, some stuff went down, and she was thanking me for tonight.
That's
Contractor
very
Newell
kind.
Partridge told Johnson that when he aimed a flashlight at a creature in a nearby field, its eyes glowed like bicycle reflectors. Additionally, he blamed buzzing noises from his television set and the disappearance of his German Shepherd Bandit on the creature. Oh, Bandit. Wildlife biologist Robert L. Smith at West Virginia University told reporters that descriptions and sightings fit the sandhill crane, a large American crane almost as tall as a man with 7-foot wingspan and reddish coloring around its eyes. The bird may have wandered out of its migration route and therefore was unrecognized at first because it was not at its native region. Due to the popularity of the Batman TV series at the time, the fictional superhero Batman and his rogues gallery were prominently featured in the public eye. While the villain Killer Moth did not appear in the show, the comic book influence of both him and Batman is believed by some to have the, influenced the coinage of the name Mothman in the local newspaper. Following the December 15th, 1967 collapse of the Silver Bridge and the death of 46 people, the incident gave rise to the legend and connected the Mothman getting to the bridge collapse. According to Georgian newspaper, ooh, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna mispronounce this. Savo, 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 Svobodnaya Gruzia, Russian UFOologists claim that Mothman sightings in Moscow foreshadowed the 1999 Russian apartment bombing. The Mothman Prophecies 2002 is a major motion picture loosely based on the 1975 book of the same name by John Keel. In 2016, WCHS TV published a photo purported to be a Mothman taken by an anonymous man while driving on Route 2 in Mason County. Science writer Sharon Hill proposed that the photo showed a bird, perhaps an owl, carrying a frog or snake away, and wrote that there is zero reason to suspect it is the Mothman as described in the legend. There are too many far more reasonable explanations. Folklorist Jane Harold notes that the Mothman has been widely covered in popular press, with some claiming sightings connected with the UFOs, and others suggested that the military storage site was Mothman's home. Brunvard notes that the recountings of the 1966 to 67 Mothman reports usually state that at least 100 people saw Mothman, with many more afraid to report their sightings. However, he points out that these written sources for such stories consisted of children's books or centralized or undocumented accounts that failed to quote identifiable persons. Children's books? They made children's book like Mothman children books? That's freaking wild, dude. That's just
Great.
so dumb. Like that's just like that would not be seen fucking today. You know?
Yeah.
Like nobody that would be canceled so fast.
The last one I'm going to do is the Hellhounds. Also, I've never heard of this, but also called the Black Dog. Never heard of that before, but whatever. Um, so the Hellhound is a supernatural spectacle or demonic hellhound originating from England folklore. Um, it's also been presented through again Europe and the Americas. Um, like the description they give for the hellhound is sometimes yellow glowing eyes, but also I think most of the time red. Um, it's the hellhound is an omen of death and associated with electrical storms. Weird one. I crossroads, borrows, which is it's like a different type of supernatural mythological dog. It's a fairy dog. I lost. Oh, a fairy hound. Excuse me. Um, and like they appear around ancient pathways. The dogs are usually regarded as a sinister or malevolent type of being and said to be very harmful directly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They have like super sharp claws and stuff.
Hmm?
And they have super sharp claws.
Yeah. I guess the origins are difficult to, like, I guess they don't know where in Europe it seems like. They have a couple places that I'm looking at. Um, Again, I guess they're just associated with um, death, and it seems like there could, no. It's possible that the black dog survives. What? Hold on. I don't think that should be in there.
I know that the different colored hellhounds means from a different level of hell because they're sent from hell. I know a lot about the hellhounds. Like depending on the deal that you made that you're reneging on, can be a reason why you get a hellhound scent. It's supposed to take you.
Well, I don't know if it's like,
Like there's different
'cause-
hellhounds and there's different levels and different reasons. Like if you sell your soul too, and there's like a time, or you make a deal and there's a timeline to it.
yeah, it also supposed to like guard dogs, which is why I'm like,
Oh, there's like I said, there's different versions of them. Because I got really interested in them because of Supernatural. So I did a lot of research on them back in like beginning of high school.
"Mm,
No, Hellhounds is actually kind of they're it's actually kind of like a cool situation. Like the way that they like are used in life and like how they work and stuff. It's kind of cool. Oh, did I tell you that I have my first edition of my cover for my book?
what?
I have the first edition of my cover for my book.
Mm,
Is tweaking some stuff.
very nice.
It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. So excited for like the finished product. And like she understood what I meant by putting a dagger in the V, and she did it so perfectly. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm just while she's doing some like researching, I'm gonna let you guys know who this person is. She does cover design. She's also connected with a marketing like company so they can help market your book. Which um if you ever need somebody, girl, to make a cover or anything like that, I will send you the link if you want it. But it's design with Layla and Daniel. I've been speaking with Layla. But she is the manager at Bound to Love PR, which is the marketing, and they help market, and they will help with like different platforms, help with your website. There's so much that they will do. Only thing they don't do is character art, but I think she was the one that sent. No, that was somebody else that sent me character art links, and I haven't really found anybody that I really want to go with yet.
So I haven't, in my further research, um, I found things like they guard the underworld. I've already told you, like guarding the gates to keep the dead in, omen of death, hunters, as well as guardians or guides, which is so weird. It's like you wouldn't think of it as a guardian or a guide, at least. It's weird. Um, I guess they're super strong and super fast. They shapeshift, it seems like, what I'm being told here, but can you trust everything on the internet? I'm not sure. Ooh, that's not great. Okay, I'll tell you what they shapeshift into.
Ooh, what do they shapeshift into?
Many legends give them the ability to change their form, sometimes appearing as headless old women, a cat, a rabbit, or even vanishing into mist. So you see a
Headless?
headless old lady. Yeah, it says a headless old
Yo,
woman.
what the fuck? That's like the most unhinged shit. Like the like to freaking shapeshift into anything you would in it, one of them being a headless old lady. It's
Some
wild.
claim they are invisible until person near death. I guess, can like see them. And well, that makes sense because I guess I don't know. It's this part I is funny to me, but I guess they're invisible or can be and enhance their senses so they can track relentlessly, it says. So there's a little bit more, and they have control over fire.
It
And
makes kind of some sense, but like that's just wild. I
yeah,
can't I can't get over the fact that like headless or ladies.
headless old women and a cat.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what kind of cat or about like whatever color variation it has to be. Just as a cat.
Mm,
Yeah.
so creepy. I wonder if my cat is a hellhound. Also, like, why is that so freaking hilarious? A hellhound? Like a dog shapeshifting into a cat?
I know. So
So
strange.
freaking funny. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be as funny as it is, but I think it's hilarious.
No, it's like strange because TV shows have told us cats and dogs really hate each other. It's
And
like,
you see my cat and dog,
yeah,
any of the dogs in this household and my cat, I'm like, they literally play with each other like the freak. Gosh.
so that was my spiel.
How long have we been live? That's a good
I'm
question.
not sure. My test?
Let's see. Let us see. Let us see. About 46 minutes.
45 minutes, 46, still have 50, right?
About. We're almost hit an hour. We're doing kind of a, I mean, in a sense, compared to like our other videos and stuff, we're going a little short today because I've had a really long day of like between work and the like other little party like event things, and I sadly I do have to work tomorrow. I gotta be at the office kind of early, but I do get off at 3, so that's nice. But then I have a family dinner after that at my in-laws. So it's a busy, busy bee. I'm so glad we were still able to do it. I'm so sorry for the fact that I didn't dress up. You know what? I totally did. I'm a Colorado woman. I'm not actually in Colorado, guys. Um, I've thought about it. I've thought about Colorado. My company has uh some locations out in Colorado, so I wouldn't have to change company. I really like this company. They also have some in Minnesota. Minnesota. They got some there.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I want to know if they have any in Tennessee. That'd be cool. Because that
Hmm.
was one of the main places that we were looking. But I haven't figured that out. I mean, that's just kind of like Google search.
Yeah, I have to
Fun.
edit some bird pictures.
Fun. Oh my gosh, guys. Well, probably I have to take my makeup off.
Ditto.
Yeah, your makeup's cute.
Thank you. Super simple. I thought, what can we
Mine is
do?
mine is highlightery, super. But I was Tinkerbell, guys. I was a teacup, which had very colorful makeup, and then I washed that all off and then put my Tinkerbell makeup on.
Okay, you can't tell as of right now, and that's okay. Um, Hold on. We'll fix this issue. I'll show you what I am. Okay. So today, thank you for visiting um
Humble
live stream.
abode.
Our humble abode where we sit, we talk about, well, sometimes we talk about our books. Today we talked about the spooky, scary, and the skeleton. So if you like us, you like what we talk about, you like who we are, like what we do, like that we're joking around, and sometimes we can be big dummies, come back for another episode of Brainstorm Besties, the Midnight Draft series. And now I'll
Yeah,
show you what I am.
yeah.
You won't get the full picture, but that's okay. Because
You're gonna
I
find
don't
out
have
really
one.
fast that I am really bad at pronouncing names, words, pretty much everything. I have a slight speech impediment. So,
I should need this light for a minute.
like I can't say
Anyways, here we go.
I say ambulance instead of ambulance. Oh, oh my God, it's just so I love that. That skirt's so adorable. I love the blue. That
Momo.
blue. That blue is
I know it's Momo. It's Momo. It's Momo coded. I'm Momo from Dan to Dan. Um, I know it's not the color shirt it's supposed to be, it's but what we're working with. Anyways, thank you for watching today's live stream. Come back for the next episode. Go watch our bloopers. Fall in love with us and our books. We'll be here. We'll be waiting. We love you. Don't talk to the mimics under your bed and keep your door closed. And don't answer your husband when he knocks on the door.